Welcome to the Unscripted podcast. My name's Corby LaCroix, and the song you're hearing right now is called Great and Mighty One, available on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your music. But for now, recording from the Unscripted studio in Old Hilliard, here's your host and my friend, Aaron Conrad.
Great Redeemer, God of grace.
All right, everybody, welcome to Unscripted from my studios in Old Hilliard. And this is four-time returning guest. Four-time. Most ever. My friend, my brother, my partner, you name it. Just my all-around, one of my favorite people in the world, Mr. Andy Warnock. Andy, why don't you introduce yourself? In case anyone in the world somehow doesn't know who Andy is, why don't you introduce yourself real quick and we'll roll from there.
Sure. Andy Warnock, Hilliard, Ohio resident and entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, you might say. And I am recording outside of Old Hilliard for a change at the Westwood Fieldhouse, our newly completed basketball, volleyball facility. I sitting here, just pinched myself, dream come true. But grew up athlete, played hoops at Ohio Wesleyan, family of 4 kids, 10, 8, 4, and 3, settled in Hilliard, and we're trying to make a positive impact on this town.
So anybody listening, if you haven't by some chance heard of Andy or his story or his family, like I said, there's 3 other episodes to go catch up on, 2 especially. But we wanted to record today. I wanted to record today. You got a lot going on. There is he just mentioned one of many items on the list. But I need everybody to know this guy, as you all know, I launched on my own, and this guy was somebody that literally from day one has been step and step right there next to me. We launched my LLC from his office in his house, just to give you an idea what kind of guy this is, just in case somebody doesn't know. But I think most people, your name is very well known and respected in this town, and I think far beyond that. But let's catch up because there's a lot happening in Old Hilliard. To that point, you are changing the landscape. I think you and I have a dream to make this city famous. And so let's talk about what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I know what you're doing to make this city famous. Let's start at the top. Let's start with the Junction. The Junction is now open. There's still a little construction going on, but you give an update. The Junction is now open. Let's talk about the Junction.
So I may have told the story, I don't remember, but the city of Hilliard came to me a couple of years ago, and they had a building that was sitting in Old Hilliard right on the rails to trails that was an old warehouse, and kind of asked for my vision of what that space could be. And we breathed life into this dilapidated warehouse. It's now an entrepreneurial hub, back to my roots, which is I love people who want to start businesses and take a bet on themselves. And this is a place for people to do that, you included.
Correct.
And we filled all 6 offices. We have 6 private offices for those who need affordable private office space, but also space to meet clients in a conference room, in a kitchenette, a bunch of common area that can be utilized. We've got a great patio that overlooks, a beautiful pond in Hilliard Darby High School. And then Sexton's Pizza is the other piece of that. Joey Sexton's a Hilliard resident. He wanted to grow his restaurant. He had already done that, probably wasn't ready to grow again, but I encouraged him because I love his pizza so much and because he's a Hilliard guy and I want to bring Hilliard people together and make Hilliard famous. So we twisted his arm and said, look, we know you just opened another restaurant, but open a 4th. And he is and will next month. I feel like I've been saying next month for 6 months, but we are on the final stretch of getting him in there where people can come and enjoy his pie. And the best part for me is it's turned into a little community of really good people. I've met so many special Hilliard folks at the Junction and shared time with them and listened to their stories and heard how they've grown their business and frankly heard how their business has grown as a result of the Junction. And that's why we did it. And I'm so grateful that the city of Hilliard saw that vision and they tapped us on the shoulder and said, look, Westwood Collective, which is our holding company, we want you to be the visionary of this space. So there are now, I think there are close to 20 unique businesses that are using that space on a daily or weekly basis. And that's, it's transforming the business landscape in Hilliard, which is pretty special.
All right, so let me tag onto that. That's Andy's vision and narrative of that space. I am myself, and our business is one of the people that have utilized that space. And I'll tell you this: it's a beautiful space. There's not been a person I've met with that. There's so many people that are interested. They want to come see it. They have, and when they do, they're like, "This is incredible." It is. You all just did an amazing job. The community is also very, very cool. The way that, as you said, it's. I think you said it before. I don't know if you mentioned it just now, but it's an incubator. I love that word. It's there's a lot of small businesses or business men and women that are in there every day. And what's cool is we all kind of connect around the water cooler, so to speak, to say, what do you do? What do you do? And what's happening is this communities are starting because we're linking arms. We're all small businesses. We all need help and we all need a place to start. And man, it's just such a cool space. And then there's other events that are taking place in there. There's, is it Coffee Connection or Connections and Coffee? What is it called?
Connections of Coffee with the Hilliard Chamber of Commerce.
There you go. Yeah. So building's full of all of these businesses within Hilliard getting to know one another, meeting, having some coffee, just seeing the space. It's really amazing. I can't wait till Sexton's is open, till this summer or the spring when the weather's nice and the trees are full and there's a breeze and there's patio and bocce, and you just have to see it. So before we go any further, how can they learn more about the Junction?
Sure. Junction614.com has pictures, rates. Again, for $99 a month, you can become a member and come in there, throw your laptop up, meet other entrepreneurs, other small businesses, find connection, find community. We think it's the best deal going. But there are other ways that you can use the space from a business standpoint as well. So junction614.com.
There you go. And Chloe and Cole and the team are amazing. Just amazing.
Agreed.
Andy has wonderful people that care about you as a business too. So, okay. And I know we got a lot to do, and you got a meeting to get to pretty soon. So we'll rush through as much as we can.
We're good.
We started high level. Let's go to a place that I think a lot of people have questions about, a day that was a little, unfortunate, and not a little. It was very unfortunate for the city. Let's talk about Legacy. You own that building, correct? Can you update this audience on Legacy?
Yeah, so Legacy Smokehouse was really my first venture into Hilliard. I started in the apartment business, buying and developing apartments across the Midwest, really in 3 states. And we wanted to do something in Hilliard. We're raising our family here. We really wanted to take the profits from all of these other businesses across the Midwest and bring them home to start changing the landscape here. So Legacy in 2016 or 17, when we first bought the building, was that the first venture. And we linked arms with Chad Smock, the owner of Legacy Smokehouse. We turned a Victorian home into a really cool little restaurant with a neat vibe on Main Street. And in December, I got a call at 10:30 at night that Legacy was on fire. And we went over, and sure enough, the smoker room in the back, still don't know the cause, not even certain it was the smoker where they do their meat smoking, but something happened, and the whole back half of the building was caught on fire. And we put it out. We dealt with the insurance companies, and I told Chad and his partner Ty, I said, look, this is a staple in Hilliard. People want you here. We are going to rebuild this thing, and it's going to be better. And the biggest shame was we had just finished building out a bourbon bar on the top floor, Rick House 41. It was really neat space, the only kind of open air rooftop dining / drinking space in Hilliard. I mean, just a really neat vibe. And they were literally a day away from being able to serve patrons up top. So that it was heartbreaking. But again, the outpouring of support of people who have said to Chad, we'll be there the day you reopen, is just showing that, one, I want to partner with good people who have a good product, and Chad's one of those. And we're going to do whatever we can to make sure he's not only back up and running, but that it's better than what people had before. So we think we're probably about 6 months away from that reopening. We are probably days away from swinging a hammer and starting demo and rebuild. So it's coming. Hopefully this summer people will be back enjoying what he's doing. I mean, look, Legacy they're now at Crew Stadium. They're the only barbecue vendor at Crew Stadium. They'll be there tomorrow night for the World Cup qualifier. Chad has gotten creative. I mean, he's smoking out of his house. He's doing whatever he has to make sure he can have food there. But we love them. We love what they do. Love their meat, and we'll make sure that they're back.
And the best way the city can support right now is Two Steps Taco is open over at Crooked King, right? So the Center Street Market. So get over to Two Step Taco, buy support that way for now. Is that I don't want to speak for you. Is that the right way?
I think so. I know that there were some folks online. There was a Facebook community that was buying gift cards from Chad.
Yes.
Holding those until he reopens to give him some working capital. I think that's great. But yeah, patronizing Two Step, visiting them if you go to Columbus Crew Stadium. I think those are the ways at this point. And then, look, I said, wouldn't it be fun if the finishing touches of that building, we just had a community day where we told anybody who...
It's awesome.
You come over, help us hang things on the wall, help us paint walls, have a vested interest in bringing them back.
Yeah.
That's something that I think we'll probably end up doing, is tell the contractor to take it so far, and then we're going to let anybody who wants to throw their arms around Chad to come out and put the finishing touches on.
And I guarantee that this community will do that, because this community was heartbroken. So not to spend time on that, but I think people wanted an update on Legacy. Okay, next thing. The very building that you're sitting in, the Westwood Fieldhouse. Man, this is exciting. You are...
I'm going to walk us out.
Yeah. All right. So if you're watching on video, you all got to see that it is gorgeous. First of all, before you leave that room, you're in the Rusty Bucket party room, right?
We are. Yeah. So we have a great partnership with Rusty Bucket. This is the events room, birthday parties, corporate events, you name it. We're going to have it in this room here. And then this is the gym here.
There it is.
So we're just finishing up some construction. In fact, I'll go sit out here for a minute. We might run into some people out here, but that's okay.
Man, it is, for those not watching on video, this space is gorgeous, and it's so needed in this city. Basketball, volleyball facilities. I'll let you tell what this facility and space is for.
Yeah, so we have, you can hear me okay out here?
Absolutely.
We have over 17,000 square feet, regulation basketball courts, 4 regulation volleyball courts, 4 youth basketball courts. We've got locker rooms.
Yep.
This is a space where, we want the community to come out and do whatever they want to do in this gym, whether it's basketball and volleyball. We've now talked to Columbus futsal, which is in a form of indoor soccer. We've talked to Columbus handball, which is an Olympic sport, and there's a professional club team here in Columbus. We have folks that want to fly model airplanes in here. You name it. It's clear that just having these walls up and this facility available has created some excitement here. And I've said this on a couple of other interviews. We want to fill our hotels and we want to fill our restaurants.
Yes.
So by us hosting events here, whether it's volleyball or basketball tournaments or anything else, and people need to stay here for a 2-day tournament, they're going to stay in Hilliard's hotels. They're going to go to the Rusty Bucket, 10 Pin Alley, also one of our sponsors. And that's great. That's what we want. So we already have, as we look out into the summer, we have partnerships with some of the dioceses, some of the Catholic schools who will be using this facility for their sporting events. Like we said, Columbus futsal and handball, Mid-Ohio Pumas, which is a Hilliard-founded AAU basketball program, who also has a new volleyball program. I-9 Sports. All of those folks have already committed in a pretty significant way. So, my hope, and my wife probably kill me for wanting to do more, but my hope is we're oversubscribed and we got to build another facility, and it's bigger and it's better. And I've never had more fun on a project than being able to build a basketball gymnasium that me and my family have a key to, and we can come over here and just have family bonding time. It's remarkable. So yeah, we're thrilled. We open to the public on Monday, January 31st. So just a few days from now, I'll have my 4th graders in here for a pre-opening game tonight. But just the smell of this wood floor, it's really neat.
Yeah. It's an incredible space. It's beautiful, and I'm thankful that it's here. And just another thing, man, just changing the landscape, which is what I so much appreciate about everything that you're doing. And I know, like, I'm not trying to rush through a bunch of stuff, but so if people want to see the space, let's say that real quick. If people want to see the space, if I'm just curious about this new building, how do I get a hold of you, or how do I learn more about the building?
WestwoodFieldhouse.com is the website. We will be open generally 8 to 5 during the day. Things will be by reservation only. And again, it's not a membership gym. It's a rental. You rent the space, use it at the time you need. But um, you can find us, westwoodfieldhouse.com. Go to our contact us, fill out an inquiry, and we'll certainly get back with you promptly. The same friendly folks that you see at the junction are the same folks that you're going to see at the field house. So yeah, come check it out. We want prying eyes, nosy folks to be poking through here.
Well, they should, because it's gorgeous. All right. There's a white building on Norwich Street that's currently being renovated. Is that right? Do you want to update on that one?
We've got so Norwich Street fast became my favorite street in all of Hilliard. Moved here. I just love the charm. I think that the unique nature of things on that street, and I love the fact that it's a work district, meaning you have office space or residential space in any of those properties. So we did purchase 5252 Norwich, in addition to a couple of other properties on Norwich recently, to move Westwood Collective's corporate office. We're rehabbing the space currently. One of the other buildings that we bought, we are in conversations about turning into an Airbnb. Our vision for Hilliard is we want to fill voids where there are missing pieces. And if we want to have a vibrant community, we want to make sure that we can offer everything that other vibrant communities offer. And unfortunately, the Hilliard zoning code doesn't allow transient hotel type properties in the old district. Now, we are working with them actively in hopes of changing that, because again, if someone goes to the McCoy Center for a wedding and wants to walk to the Crooked Can afterwards to have some fun, and then wants to walk home, we want to give them that option. And we've seen it work where these Airbnbs become destinations if they're done right. And we want to have Bakes by Low and some of the local flair, Coffee Connections Coffee, whomever. I'm leaving a lot of people out, and I don't mean to, but we want to have that available to whoever's staying there. So when they walk in the door, they get a taste of Hilliard, literally and figuratively. And we're really excited about that project. I mean, again, as we look at what Westwood has done, whether it's co-working space, whether it's a basketball gymnasium, whether it's patio homes also on Norwich Street, whether it's an Airbnb, we want to bring to life things that this community is missing. And so stay tuned. I hope that we'll have a fifth opportunity to connect. And at that point, maybe the zoning code has changed. We've got an Airbnb and something really cool that, look, we'd be attracting people from outside of Hilliard, but also if people want to go on a date night and not go home, that they have a place that feels different. My wife and I love Chip and Joanna from Magnolia. And we've been down to Waco, Texas, and we've seen what they do. And I'd be lying if I said that wasn't kind of an inspiration for us here in Hilliard. We want to take parts of Hilliard that need new life breathed into it, and we want to do it and add some excitement. So, I'll kind of end with this. I never in a million years, I've always enjoyed what I do, but I literally get excited, almost giddy, getting out of bed when you get to go into the town where you're living and put your stamp on it like this. And it's not just our vision. I mean, we're listening to, I ask people all the time, what do you want in Hilliard? What are the things that you want? I mean, a date night restaurant. I've probably said that on one of these episodes before, but to bring something unique in the restaurant space to Old Hilliard, bring retail to Hilliard. We're down the road on some property in Old Hilliard that is pretty prime real estate. And we already have a couple of retail tenants, including a clothing boutique out of Findlay, Ohio, that likely will be coming to Old Hilliard. So, when you think about the Dora in the summers and people are walking up and down the streets, the one thing that's missing is shops to pop in and out of.
Right.
So again, we're listening. We're trying to figure figure out where those spaces are that we can move into. And our pipeline's full, but it's full in a very exciting way.
Your pipeline is full. That's why I wanted to have you on, and I'll probably have you on 10 times. You're probably always going to be at the top of the list as far as I'm blessed that I get to be somewhat of a mouthpiece for the Westwood Collective and all that they're doing. But I will tell you, I was actually at the Crooked Can one night. To just so people understand, there was a wedding in the McCoy Center, and the wedding party had walked down from the McCoy Center to the Crooked Can for further drinks and spirits, so to say. As we were all sitting around the fire pit at Crooked Can, I was looking at the people I was with and thinking, man, these people are going to get behind the wheel. So that was a little scary at the moment. But the point of it is, if there was an Airbnb or someplace for them to go downtown, that, the very vision that you just cast, that's very real. It's very real. And we all love the Center Street Market and Crooked Can as well. So, all right. Phew, we covered a lot of ground. Okay. Last thing I want to ask you about, and maybe the most important, Dots Tots. What's the latest with Dots Tots, your foundation?
Yeah. So we've got this great foundation in Hilliard. Just blessed a family at the end of 2021. This one hit close to home. Family car accident on Roberts Road. Car behind them didn't stop. Ran back family minivan. Family paralyzed as a result of that accident. I have an 8-year-old son. I get goosebumps talking about that particular accident and our ability to help that family. But we were able to build out an accessible bathroom so that Naomi can roll in and utilize it without help from her parents, and also add accessibility to the basement via wheelchair or via a lift. Just an amazing family, an amazing little girl, and amazing support from this community that threw their arms around her and around Dots Tots Foundation to raise the money to allow us to do that for that family. So many of us were seconds away from being in that situation, and to just see the smiles as a result of that, it was incredible. So that was the end of last year, and then moving into this year, January is always the month that we give away scholarships to Hilliard teenagers. So we'll be giving away close to $20,000 in the next week to graduates or almost graduates of Hilliard City Schools. And then we get into event season, where we have our golf outing, our 5K, our bar crawl, all the fun things that folks can get it behind. So I'll just throw another URL at you, but dotstots.org is a way for you to stay in touch with what we're doing, who we're helping, and how you can get behind what we're doing, particularly here in Hilliard. I've thrown a lot of information at folks, and appreciate the forum to be able to share all of this. I'm truly humbled that, one, you include me in this as often as you have, but two, just the outpouring of support from those in the community, particularly around the foundation. So let's keep that momentum going.
Yeah. So you all know why I love this guy now. Co-working space for people. Again, let's start at the very beginning, just in case anybody just now is logging. I don't know how that works on a podcast. It's not like you can catch it like late in the episode. But anyway, let me just review. I launched my business from your living room, your home office at your house, because you said, I'm in, let's go. Launched my business being you helped me navigate the paperwork and everything else I needed to do. Friendship before that, but you've all been the junction in Old Hilliard, which is a co-working space that is full of people that are starting their business, have an existing business, that are just connecting arms. They have an incredible staff, and it's not even done yet. Sexton's Pizza is going to take that thing to the whole next level. He is speaking to us now from a field house, which will provide basketball and volleyball and soccer. It's a lot of different groups, an opportunity to come into Hilliard, Old Hilliard, New Hilliard, whatever we want to call Hilliard, and play, get activity, have a birthday party at the Rusty Bucket Room. The community's been able to sponsor and be a part of it. And then, new office space on Norwich Road. in case you missed it, if you were asleep or half listening while you were doing something else, understand that this gentleman that I have on today is changing the landscape. He's putting his money where his mouth is, literally and figuratively, in changing the landscape of this very city that we live in and love. And then last but not least, and maybe most important of all those things, is a foundation that has changed the lives for some people that really could, needed some help and were just in a situation where they couldn't do it on their own. Goodness, man, you are the best of us. I've said that before. I'll say it again. I'm just honored to call you my friend, and I'm thankful for your mentorship, your leadership in my life, our friendship outside of all the stuff we've mentioned. But you're a good one, man, and you're the best of us.
Thanks, Aaron. Hey, look, I mean, I said this around me included, and I love what I do, and I love this. So, I've told some of the young folks that work for me, when you get involved in the community that you live, when you really put your roots down, it's just amazing how good that feels. So anybody that's listening, I would say the same thing. Put your roots down, let them grow, put them down deep, and just watch what happens. So thanks for the opportunities.
Always. I know you're off to the next thing, and thank you for carving out even a half hour of your time for us today. And all the links that we mentioned, go visit all those links. Go support. We didn't even talk about legacy. All those things that we've talked about, man. Go support all those things. Especially if you live in Hilliard, let's give back and let's just keep making this community famous. That's our goal. So, all right, brother. On to the next meeting, man. I appreciate you. We will talk soon.
Thanks, Aaron.
All right, brother.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Unscripted podcast with your host, Aaron Conrad. Make sure to like, share, follow, and review on your favorite podcast platforms. Also, make sure to check out my song Great and Mighty One on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you find your music. We'll see you next time on Unscripted with Aaron Conrad.